I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So, Kevin O'Connell, congratulations to him, right? Minnesota Vikings head coach wins the Coach of the Year award. Once again, I repeat, Kevin O'Connell wins the Coach of the Year award. Gotta respect it. Can't take nothing away from him. Now, it was a lot of debate. Has been a lot of debate on whether or not he deserved that title, he deserved that award, etc., etc. Now, you ask me, I'm not gonna cap. I'm gonna be real here. Not gonna be biased. I've said it the whole off season. After the piss poor performances, the last 2 weeks of the season, right, versus Detroit, versus the Rams, I don't think that Kevin O'Connell should have won Coach of the Year. Am I mad at it? Am I pissed off? No. Am I gonna go crazy about it? Talk about how bad he didn't deserve it? No, I'm not gonna go get that much into it, right? But at the end of the day, if you ask me, out of the Dan Campbells, out of the Sean McVays, you hear me? Out of the even Nick Sirianni's, even though he had a stacked roster, etc. Out of the what is it, Dan Quinn from Washington, I can't sit here and say comfortably that Kevin O'Connell deserved to win the Coach of the Year. You hear me? You dig me? You get my drift, huh? I can't sit here and comfortably and say it. Now you look at his first year. If we're talking about the first season, now I say that season, he could have damn well won the Coach of the Year. He would have deserved that award, right? But because you coming in first year, 13 wins, make a playoff appearance, even though you got beat the first round by a team you shouldn't have lost to, et cetera, correct? Heavy. You lose to the Giants, a bad loss, but you can't take away what he did with the first year he was head of the football team, the culture he brought to the Vikings, the aggressiveness, offensive play calling, the brand new energy, the energy in the atmosphere, right? The culture builder he is, no denying that. You cannot take that away from him. You hear me? You hear me? The mindset, the positivity, the positive attitude, etc., that he brought to the table. Yeah. So if we're talking about the first year, okay, I give it to him. He has that. You can give him that, homie. But this season, no, I can't. I can't say it too confidently. You know, Once again, 14 wins regular season. What he did with Sam Darnold, how he reinvented Sam Darnold, right? Made Sam Darnold a totally different player. Same thing he did with Kirk Cousins. Heavy. Can't take that away from him at all. I'm not trying to. They did some great things this year. 14 wins. Once again, can't deny that fact. 14 wins, that's a lot in the NFL. 10 wins is a lot in the NFL. You hear me, dog? Period. Teams search for 10 wins year in, year out, dog. Just making the playoffs, making a playoff appearance, right? Yeah, so great season, but at the end of the day, where are we at? My point exactly. Great season. What happens in the playoffs? That's the test, the question for Kevin O'Connell. And you talk about a man who's been at the head of the table, so to say. Been the head coach for 3 years. This was his third year. Now, I love the direction. I love the direction the Vikings are going. Yeah, I feel like they will be even better next year when they win 14 games. I ain't gonna say that. Got to see how they build a roster, what happens in free agency, correct? But I think they will be a better team, a more equipped team, especially during playoff time. I expect them to make the right moves in the offseason, free agency, draft, etc. Heavy. Period. Yeah. So I love the direction this team is going in. But you ask me, 3 years this year, his first season playoffs, 13 wins, cool. Second year, some call it a failure. Second year, okay. Your quarterback goes down, your quarterback gets hurt when you're on a hot streak, tears his Achilles. All right, we give him that. Period. You're facing injuries, battling injuries. Jettas goes out. Kelsey still does a good coaching job. They win games here, win games there, but still don't make the playoffs. But you can give him a slight pass for that season, his second season. Lose your quarterback, lose star players. All right, cool, boom. Now we at the third year. Third year, everybody talked about the Vikings bad, said they had no chance of making the playoffs. Definitely not a playoff team. No one gave them a chance. Max wins was 8. Lowest wins, some people said 4. Majority said 6, right? Et cetera, et cetera. No one thought they would be a playoff team and win 14 games, especially with Sam Darnold, huh? You hear me? Just what it is, right? Heavy. No one thought that, bro. Besides a very few. So what he did with Sam Darnold, great. Elevated his game, took it to another level, period, right? Sam Darnold comes in, balls out regular season. Offense looking good. Shout out Brian Flores, defense looking good. And let's not take away the fact the defense won majority of the games this year. The defense was the strong point of the team this year. Let's not forget that. With no Brian Flores, with no great defensive performances, even though they played piss poor down the stretch the last 2 weeks of the season as well. But you have no Brian Flores to go along with that defense. You know, the Vikings aren't a 14-win team. We saw it once again. KOC has still yet to coach a full 4 quarters of football. You hear me, dog? No cap, man. Yeah, no cap. So that's the biggest thing right there. You know? Can you just ignore that? Does he evade blame? Can you excuse him for that? I'm saying no, bruh. The defense held it down majority of the season. We've seen it once again. Inconsistency from the offense. Can't score points. Can't put teams away, et cetera, et cetera. The same story we've been seeing from KOC in the offense for the 3 years he's been here, right? No cap. 3 years he's been here, it's been inconsistency on the offense. Now it's been times when the offense looked great, unstoppable, phenomenal. When KOC's play calling was great, unstoppable, phenomenal. You hear me? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, huh? What are you really judging a head coach on? So KOC can spend the rest of his career only looking good, winning big games in the regular season? Huh? And having nothing to show for after the playoffs? Continuing this streak of first round losses, and that's okay? You know? That deserves you the award of Coach of the Year. To me, Coach of the Year, I feel like you need more. You know, that's why I say Dan Quinn should have been Coach of the Year. With the young team he had, a rookie quarterback, how he had his team prepared, got his team up for the games, playoff games. You go to Detroit, beat a good Detroit team who smashes the Vikings, huh? You make it to the NFC Championship, et cetera, et cetera. All this with a young team and a rookie quarterback. So I feel like Dan Quinn was deserving of the Coach of the Year. Now, once again, I'm not mad that KOC won it. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he shouldn't have won and I'm pissed off. No, props to the man. Like I say, I wish KOC the best. Yeah, I wish him the best, dog. You hear me? I hope the Vikings win the Super Bowl under his coaching, dog, under his staff. I hope the Vikings win one. You hear me? Period. But at the end of the day, what are we really judging on? And with 3 years in, has KOC, did he do enough this year? And I know that the Vikings overachieved. Solid, give them that. Overachieved. Respect. But during the season, you know, when you start to win and things look different, you're starting to have success, huh? You hear me? You're winning games. Guess what? Expectations change, baby. Expectations change. And you're looking at the last 2 weeks of the season, Detroit game, the Rams game. I put majority of blame on KOC. His team wasn't prepared. His team wasn't ready. And down the stretch, he felt his quarterback and his team with the play call and some of the questionable play calls. Now, I understand Sam Darnold played piss poor. The O-line, wow. Let's not even talk about the old line, dog. For real, let's not even speak on them. We know who they is and we know who they ain't. Cause guess what, huh? If they don't nip that problem in the bud, and if they don't nip that and correct that, it's gonna be even worse next year, homie. You hear me? Heavy. They're gonna be looking at they're gonna have the same conundrum next season come playoff time. You hear me? Getting beat in the trenches, getting dominated in the trenches. Like we've seen year after year after year. And Quasi KOC continue to ignore it for some reason, huh? So that's the first thing. So we know how the offensive line was. We know what the quarterback play. But you, KOC, you know, knowing his personnel, understanding that it's playoff time, everything is elevated, taken to the next level, huh? Understanding how important it is to have your team fully prepared, come up with the proper game plan to lead you to a victory, put your quarterback, your O-line in the best position to win. Period. That's on O'Connell. I mean, yeah, that's on O'Connell. It's on KOC, dog. No escaping it, man. Totally on KOC. So if we're judging off of that, I can't sit here and say comfortably that all the coaches that KOC deserve that. You can look at Dan Campbell and the Lions, all the injuries the defense faced, and for them to win that many games, they got smashed at home, smashed when it counted, when it mattered in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, to win that many games with all those injuries, Hutchinson goes down as well. You got to bounce back, regroup, playing beat up, being banged up. That deserves respect. That deserves a round of applause. If you ask me, I'm just being real here, huh? So yeah, not taking nothing away from KOC. I'm glad he got his extension. I'm glad he's the Vikings coach. You hear me? I'm glad, I respect, I salute what he brings to the table, what he brings to the culture of the organization, the way the players respect him, how hard they play for him. But KOC has a lot of growing to do, and he has to get better. I mean, it's time for him to really improve his play calling and play calling abilities, or delegate it to someone else. Like we've been saying for years. If he can't do it, he can't do it. Cool. It's not a shot to him. It doesn't make him any less of a coach. It doesn't make him less than. Okay, cool. Stop calling plays. Manage the game for real. Focus on managing the game. Huh? Period. Bottom line. So no, I don't think that KOC deserved Coach of the Year, but I'm not mad he got it. Definitely not mad he got it, homie. But we're going to see who he really is. Next year, year 4, homie. Year 4. He already got his extension, so that's a done deal. How many years? Do we know yet? Let me know if that has been stated yet, homie. Fire them comments up. Feedback is much appreciated. You hear me? Let me know the real deal, dog. The 411, the scoop. So really, no matter what he does next year, he's already extended. The Wilfs did what the Wilfs do. Minnesota Vikings Nice did what Minnesota Vikings Nice does. Huh? Overpay players, extend players and coaches too early without them proving it or earning it. But guess what, man? We ride with the Vikes. We ride with the SKOL. SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw. Heavy, homie. You hear me? Big SKOL here. Win, lose, or draw, man. So let me know how you feel about the video. You agree or disagree? Yeah, let's get it, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Support the channel. Support the grind, man. Once again, SKOL Vikes. Win, lose, or draw. Heavy. We here. Yeah.